That's right. That's right. It happened moments ago. This is Football 101 moments ago. It's the Browns, the Cleveland Brownies. You see it on my head. The Cleveland Brownies crush the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's right. Crush the Pittsburgh Steelers. Right. Tonight, they are done. The Steelers are done. They were crushed in Pittsburgh. The Brownies of all the time. Baker Mayfield, the Cleveland Browns, without their coach, head coach Stefanski, they take it to the Pittsburgh Steelers they took it to him. Ben Rothleishburger down. Mike Tomlin down. They're out after all these years. Those of us who are from Ohio, Cleveland. That's right. We finally did it against the Steelers. The jinx is over. You just saw it. 48-37. 48-37. Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns coming in with practically what kind of momentum? They had some good momentum, but they had a game plan, and they stuck with their game plan. And yes, Cleveland, man, it finally happened. How do you feel, Cleveland fans? How do you feel, Ohioans? How do you feel, Cleveland? It's been a long time coming. It's from the gut. We finally beat the big boys in the AFC North. Pittsburgh Steelers are out and done. That's right. And Mike Tomlin, Ben Roethlisberger, and the entire Pittsburgh Steelers organization have some serious problems. Serious problems. It feels so good that the Cleveland Brownies, yes, the team that I saw on the black and white TV during the 60s with Jim Brown, Leroy Kelly, Frank Ryan, Paul Warfield. I'm going back to the 60s. Yes, it feels so good. Taking down the big Steelers. It's about time in Pittsburgh. And JuJu Shuster and all his dancing around. Take that, JuJu. And I just saw at the end of the game, Ben Roethlisberger just sat on the bench by himself and perplexed. Ben Roethlisberger threw 4 interceptions. And yes, this game started out with a blowout in the first quarter. What was it, 28-0? 27, 21, 28-0? From the very first snap. I can't even remember all the things, but from the very first snap, Pouncey of the Pittsburgh Steelers hiked it over Ben Roethlisberger's head. The very first play of the game went over Ben's head, and the Cleveland Browns got an easy fumble recovery in the end zone and scored 7 points right there. Very first play of the game. And then the Browns got a turnover the second play and got a turnover. Ben Roethlisberger made a bad pass, got intercepted. And the Browns with Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and Landry stepping up, but it was that running attack. And they just sliced up the Pittsburgh defense, that big stellar defensive line. They ran straight by them. There was some good blocking by that offensive line by the Brownies. By the Brownies. How you feel, Dog Pound? How you feel, Dog Pound? All of us who are from the Ohio State, you got to feel good. You got to feel proud. And let me just say, I hope Jimmy Brown, the stalwart of the Cleveland Browns, is feeling good. This goes way deep. in this game, finally beating the big brother, Pittsburgh Steelers. You're done. Tomlin, I'm going to get to Mike Tomlin at the end of this this broadcast, because there's some serious problems with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I have to give it up to Baker Mayfield. Of all the quarterbacks, it's Baker Mayfield. It's Baker Mayfield, Mr. Media Man, Mr. Commercial Man. Yes, I gotta move my screen around a little bit around in the studio. I'm trying to keep my composure in the studio. This is an earth-shaking experience, having the Browns just crush those Pittsburgh Steelers. How do you feel? Please like and subscribe. This is for all of us from Ohio. This is for all of us. Yes, I'm born and bred in Springfield, Ohio. That's right, born and bred, watching the Browns from day one, way back in the day, going to the championships later. Do you remember Gregory Pruitt, the running back for the Cleveland Browns? Yeah, during the 70s. Again, Bernie Kosar. Yeah, and Schottenheimer blowing it every time in the AFC Championship games against the Denver Broncos. I was there. It was hard being a Brownies fan. I made fun of the Browns myself. But there was a difference. When they got rid of Freddie Kitchens and they brought in Stefanski, you gotta give it up to this guy. And he was not even there. He was on the COVID protocol back at home in a basement. That's what Chris Collinsworth said tonight. And Al Michaels said Stefanski, the head coach, was actually in his basement. And his family was upstairs. So Stefanski, the head coach, and several other coaches could not even make the trip. And the coaches that came, they had to drive themselves, and the Browns had to take two planes. And they managed to make it work. They came out crisp in that running attack. And that's what really, they stayed in between. If they maintain this type of offensive philosophy, being physical, going for short dump-off passes, and Landry came through, Hooper came through, and a couple other wide receivers came through. And then they got tight towards the third quarter, and that's when the Pittsburgh Steelers made a run. It was, when it was getting blown out, the Cleveland Browns players was looking at each other. They couldn't even believe it. Turn after turnover. And the Steelers were just not into it. They were just lackadaisical. But the Brownies had a game plan. Alex Van Pelt, interim head coach, had a game plan. And they stuck with it. You got to give him credit and give Baker Mayfield. He didn't make some bonehead plays, throwing a bad interception, but he kept it clean in the pocket. Crisp throws, kept the team moving, solidly moving in the first half. And they just picked apart that secondary of the Steelers, picked them apart. And again, the Steelers were just surprised. And let me give props to the defensive coordinator for the Browns. He was playing very physical and just really controlled the running attack and allowed Ben Rothleishburger to throw those short little dump passes, those 5-yard passes, and just eat up time. And that's a travesty. Let me just say, that's a travesty of the Steelers. And Mike Tomlin signing off on that offensive philosophy. And I'm going to get to Mike Tomlin in just a second. I'm 10 minutes in. But give it up to Cleveland. That's right. This feels so good. All of you Cleveland fans, all you Ohio fans, again, even the Bengals fans have to be cheering. This is a signature statement. This is a turn. This is a change that's happening in Cleveland. A change of culture, change everything. When you beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh in a wild card game, yes, it's time. And this was a Steelers team that was 11-0, 11-0 during the regular season. It feels so good. Please send me comments of how all you Cleveland fans, all you Ohio fans, and even the Steeler fans, what do you think? Give me your response. I want to hear your I will comment back. This goes to the core of all Cleveland fans. This goes to the core of all Cleveland fans. And let me give a shout out to, I got to give a shout out to Kyle Brandt of Good Morning Football. He predicted the Browns would take this game. Good Morning Football, Kyle Brandt. A shout out to Good Morning Football. Kyle Brandt did an outstanding job. You check out Kyle Brandt on Good Morning Football. He predicted this, and he did a skit on this, saying that the Browns would beat the Steelers. Mark it. I will even post his picture on this site. I will post his picture. Got to give credit where it's due, particularly for the media. That they again, the only media person that I knew on any of the NFL networks and the sports networks and ESPN, all this would predict the Browns. Well, guess what? The Browns did it in Pittsburgh. All the sport experts. Yes, Michael Irvin, I'm calling you out from NFL Network. You picked against the Browns. All the pontificate, all the ex-NFL athletes. You got it wrong because you're not from Ohio. You're not from Cleveland. I have relatives in Cleveland. I'm not from Cleveland. I'm actually from the Dayton, Cincinnati area and born in Springfield, Ohio. Okay? So, but I can feel the pain that's being released because we kicked Pittsburgh's tail. We crushed them. There's got to be a lot of soul searching for Pittsburgh. So the first part of this, and of course, when they got out in the league, I'll wrap up the Browns got out to wrap up the major league 28-0, and then in the third quarter, that's when Pittsburgh and Ben Rothleishburger was making a big, strong comeback, scoring, actually throwing a little bit further down. The Browns played more of a too deep defense, and that's allowed them to really get those passes, and they make a faster comeback than anticipated, and really actually got within 11, 12 points. And that's when it got tight, and the Browns were not making first downs. They were getting 3 and out. And you can see the little worry happening, the big worry. And then, got to give it to Baker Mayfield. We're coming through. Again, solidified, getting back to the Browns type of football. That is, run it between the tackles, throw short, and Jarvis, Landry making the big time catches. Jarvis, Landry. In your face. Take that, JuJu, Shuster. Take that, Watt. Take that, Hayward. And take that. Who was the ex? Oh my gosh, I'll think about his name. The ex Cleveland Brown that now was a defensive back for the Pittsburgh Steelers who wasn't playing. Chump. I call him out. Chump. Someone tell, I can't remember his name right now, but anyway, he's a Pittsburgh Steeler now, and he left Cleveland for Pittsburgh, and that's what you get. And let me just go to the Pittsburgh side. Well, let me just say, they made it close. Pittsburgh made it close, but Baker Mayfield made crucial first downs, and and then got the another touchdown. Let me just say, touchdown by Cubb, and then another touchdown. Then they got in the field goal range, got the field goal, and eventually made it 48 points. And again, the last drive where what you call Bill Rothleishburger threw another interception. It was over at that point in time. It was over. So now I'm going to get to the Pittsburgh side. But it feels, let me just, one more time, it feels so good for Cleveland. Cleveland. It goes to the core. It's just like when LeBron James won the championship for Cleveland several years ago, and he said, Cleveland. This is for Cleveland. Yeah, this is for Cleveland. So, again, props to my homies. Props to my homies. Props to my relatives. Props to my friends in Cleveland. And by the way, I was walking the streets of Cleveland just a few years ago. Went there for a conference. Yes, Cleveland downtown. I went to Synergy Stadium. It looked so good. Yes, walking around downtown Cleveland. Man, you gotta be rocking and rolling right now. With the Hall of Fame rock and roll there, it's gonna be mad. It's a bedlam tonight in Cleveland. Still keep your social distance, wear your mask, but it's gonna be a bedlam. As a matter of fact, last time I was there, I went to a pizza joint. It was great. Downtown Cleveland. So now let me get to Pittsburgh. Wow. And I do not feel sorry for Pittsburgh the way their season ended and the way it went. Because they came out hot, 11-0, and then they went on that skid, losing three. But they looked bad when they lost those games against Washington, against the other teams. Because why? Because their offense is completely different. They did not have a running attack at all. They were dead last in running. It was all throwing. And Ben Roethlisberger just got the ball from center and just threw the ball, these short passes. And yes, they have JuJu, they have Claypool, they have Johnson. But these were young wide receivers. And again, they were not, to me, I just thought they were just stacking the deck with all these young wide receivers. But that's going to catch up to when they were dropping passes right and left. And Ben just wanted to get rid of, throw the ball, not hold on to the ball anymore. This was the worst offensive strategy in the history of Pittsburgh. Because Pittsburgh Steelers is known for being physical, having a running attack. Hello, during the 70s, Franco Harris, Rocky Blyer. Hello, Terry Bradshaw. Hello, Lynn Swann. Hello. I remember the Steelers. I was there with the Steelers back in the 70s. Their trophies, their championships. But them days have been over. Forget about the terrible towel. This was a pathetic Steelers offense and average defense. Mike Tomlin will have to answer for this debacle of how the Steelers have completely declined. and they look like a joke. This at the end of this season, a joke, a travesty. The Steeler fans should really get on this team. And Ben Rothleishburger, he knows this could be it. Ben's going to try to say the right thing. And Ben is from Ohio. Ben is a MU graduate. I just happen to be an MU Miami of Ohio graduate too. He's going to go through a lot of soul searching. But then I put all of this on Mike Tomlin's shoulders. He cannot talk his way out of this. A travesty to the Steelers organization and their culture. Complete travesty. And JuJu Smith and all his dancing was a distraction and really galvanized other teams against the Steelers. It galvanized the Bengals against the Steelers. It galvanized, obviously, the Browns against the Steelers. That's a major distraction. And that's the reason why, again, a head coach would have stopped that from day one. A good head coach would have stopped that other stuff from day one. Mike Tomlin has lost control of his players and the team. And I'm calling out Mike Tomlin. And the Steeler fans should ask some serious questions. How much more are you going to take of a lack of philosophy from Mike Tomlin's team? A lack of direction. A travesty to the Rooney organization. Rooney family history. And I was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan during the 70s. Because of their defense. Because of Donnie Shell. Jack Lambert. L.C. Greenwood. Mean Joe Green. Yes. I was there with the Steelers back in the 70s. But I was always a Cleveland Brown fan. Born and bred, and we took care of business. The tables have turned, and it's time for change. But it's also time to believe. And I believe in the Brownies too. Because this is home. This is home. That's where it all begins and starts and ends. I gotta give it up to the Brownies to making a big turn, no longer being the laughing stock of the AFC, no longer being the laughing stock. And yes, they have to go on the road to play KC. Uh-oh. Patrick Mahomes. But at least they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Take a deep breath. Finally did it. Finally did it against the Steelers. Crushed the Steelers. And it's time to celebrate. This was our Super Bowl. What are you talking about? Is there another game after this? This was the Browns Super Bowl. This is it. We're done. The Browns are done. This was a Super Bowl for the Brownies. It should be in the dog pound. So thank you, Cleveland. Thank you, Baker Mayfield. Thank you, Stefanski. Thank you, Alex Van Pelt. Thank you, defense. And thank you, Cleveland. Keep it rolling. Always, always, always believe. You gotta believe. This is the Beatle. This is Football 101. We are out, but we're going to continue to believe. See you, everybody.